Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Check It Out, where I recommend titles that you can learn from, connect with, and explore. This week's title is Other Words for Home by Jasmine Warka. This is a contemporary fiction book. It's also an own voices book. This is the story of Jude. Jude is a young Syrian woman who lives with her family in a town in Syria that is kind of similar to Aleppo. She mentions Aleppo being in the news, and it seems like there's the same kind of political climate as Aleppo, so I kind of assume that it's something very similar. Her town is experiencing some political upheaval. Her family lives day to day, very normal lives. She has friends and family. They eat together, they watch movies together, they sing together. She's very happy, and she goes to school. She learns very serious subjects, but she dreams of being an actress someday. And she talks a little bit about American movies and certain movies that she's seen, so that's a kind of fun touch. But throughout the story, we learn that Jude's older brother, Isa, is very engaged in politics and wants to be a part of the action. He feels the need to join the revolution, and the situation is becoming more and more dangerous. So Jude's family decides that Jude and her mother are going to go to Cincinnati in the United States and live with her uncle and his family. So they become refugees, and it's really hard. They have to communicate with Jude's father over the computer. They video chat. And Isa moves away into a very dangerous town where a lot of the fighting is happening, and it's really hard for them to keep in touch with him, so she worries about his safety throughout the most of the book. It weighs on her very heavily. Meanwhile, she's trying to adapt to life in American culture. At the beginning, she finds it very overwhelming, but she kind of comes into her own, and that journey is really beautiful. She learns what it means to be Middle Eastern in America, all the good things that come with that, as well as the kind of prejudices that she faces throughout, living in America and learning how the culture kind of works and goes, and that can be really sad. But Jude, overcomes, and she comes out on top, and it's really inspiring to see that, and it's just a beautiful story. It's a story that we need. It generates empathy, and it's just, if you pick up this book, I encourage you to read the author's notes. She gives a nice context as to how she started writing the book, and she provides further information about Syria and refugees, and I would encourage you to kind of do a little bit more digging to learn a little bit more about that. So themes of this book are, I think the title really does a nice job of kind of encapsulating the theme, which is what home means. There's a home where you come from, the home that you make for yourself, the home within your friends, within your family. It's very beautiful. So I think home as a theme is a really prominent in the book. I also want to suggest my read-alikes. So with one title, I wanted to focus more on refugees. So this is Of Beetles and Angels, One Boy's Remarkable Journey from a Refugee Camp to Harvard. So this tells more of the story about a refugee from a refugee camp in the Sudan, about a young boy. And The Red Pencil. This is another story told in verse, which I think is a really nice compliment. Again, about a refugee from the Sudan. So with that, I hope that you found something to book up your week. Thanks, everyone.